AShinyObject.
Godzilla 2000 Millennium, the Sound Battler figure. Vinyl figures with sound features isn't really something we see out of Bandai. It's a bit of a lost art. Although I will gladly say that the art of vinyl figures is definitely not lost with this pre-Movie Monster series release here. Miregoji is going to have his classical dark green skin, but there are going to be a few additions. On the thighs, the chest, and the side of the shoulders, we are going to get a slight dusting of a silver paint application. You might be slightly blinking, you'll miss it up close, but from far away, it's very, very obvious. I'm not saying this is something the figure so drastically needed, but considering that this came out alongside the Toho Kaiju series release, I'm not exactly upset about it. It will have mostly white nails on his toes and for his claws. The teeth will be a bit of a lighter shade that they used for his eggnoggish looking eyes. Something similar was done with both the tongue and the iris of Godzilla's eyes, which is nice. Get some nice variation going on there. And then we have the dorsal fins, which are going to be much more silver than purple, like the Toho Kaiju series release. And once you get into the lower portion of the tail, it's more so silver than it is purple. Don't ask me why, I don't know why, but he is painted all the way to the tip, which is a rarity these days, and it's honestly not all that distracting. Yes, I prefer the violet, magenta, purple tips, but I really like this dorsal fin the most because it looks like they didn't hit it with purple at all, but then you turn it to front ways and boom, that's where all the purple went. You might see that as a flaw, and it's perfectly fine if you do, but damn oh me, the paint and detail on this guy is lovely. Especially around the face. There's a lot going on here. I mean, this whole section over here is just lovely. I don't know why there is such a major difference between everything, but it looks great. Homie over here is bumpy and crater-esque, and then we get into the tree barkage. It's just a cool thing to see. From the head, to the neck, to the pectorals, torso, crotch, the whole 9 yards, this figure is beautiful. Genuinely fantastic from every angle possible. A detail show and a paint show. These dorsal fins might be a major variation from what we're used to of that of Godzilla 2000, but damn oh me, this is lovely. Paint-wise, detail-wise, everything-wise, even his chromed out tail. This guy is a keeper. This guy is a relic of times long past, and he's huge. Sound Battler Godzilla 2000 will be standing slightly over 9 inches tall. Shokugan, Toho Kaiju Series 1 and 2. Out-of-date modern-day movie, modern-day movie. Bandai America, CCP, HG, Microzilloid, Finger Puppet. Lovely. Now let's talk about the figure I purchased this set for. Orga is indeed in the house, and he is looking even better than he did in the Toho Kaiju series. A morphologically sound-looking paint job. An organic mess of absolute asymmetrical craziness. And just an overall completely different color palette than what we got with the Toho Kaiju series. Most times when handling this figure, I am completely just taken aback by how awesome it is. Now, I know Orga doesn't exactly get a lot of figures these days, but this overall colorway is just something we don't see. Very dark gray, a brown dry brushing throughout with a mixture of that blue and silver. This is practically unfucking precedented for that of Orga figures. Some of the variations that we saw on the Toho Kaiju series version of the figure are going to be present here. Maybe not all of them to a certain extent, but he is still going to have his Bionicle/Decepticon icon Krana mask on his bicep over here. And he's still going to have those weird spikes over here. We're going to get warty bumps. We're going to get craters. We're going to get that weirdly organic armor-plated skin. We're going to see things that will be present on one side and maybe not the other, but to a different degree. As I said last time, Orga is an eye fucker's wet dream because my God, look at all this variation, this asymmetry. And I love that we have a look at the membranes of Orga's mouth over here. The fact that you can actually see the split where it happens along his neck. That might be cap, but that's just what it looks like to me. Overall, just monstrosity type vibe that Orga presents. Honestly, this thing is beautiful. Orga in and of itself is ugly as sin, but the design and what went into the design is certainly beautiful. I mean, look at these beautiful yellow eyes, the highlights of blue, the way that this blue slowly transfixes into that of a silver. This is type unfair. This is a figure that looks too good to be considered a children's toy that you're supposed to smack on the ground. The level of detail, the amount of paint that was tossed onto this thing, it's simply insanity. Look at that. Underside of the feet detail, goochal detailings going on over here. Look at all the color. Look at that crotch. Look at those pectorals. It looks like he's got 6 sets of the saggiest titties in the world. You gotta love it. And then you got these giant omega fap-handed arms and hands, which, oh my god, the detail show is nuts. And it's going to be like that on both hands as well. And it doesn't just stop at the top. Even on the underside, it's just weird, but it's awesome. Look at all that, the pipe works and shit, and then you got nothing like that over there. Just simply friggin' lovely. One of Bandai's best still. Orga really does give off a bit of HR Gigerisms, doesn't he? Fuck. Chunky teeth, plump little tongue. Yeah, Sound Battler Orga, I would say, just as good as the Toho Kaiju series Orga, but also insanely better. Size comparisons. Sound Battler Baby Boy Orga will be standing over 7 inches tall. Shokugan, Sound Battler, Toho Kaiju Series 1 and 2, out-of-date modern-day movie, Bandai America, Cloaking Arbiter Giant UFO and Millennium figures, CCP, HG, Microbial Zilloid, Finger Puppet. Articulation, you say? Godzilla is going to have 1 point of articulation only, and it's going to be the mid to tip part of his tail. Nothing at the legs, nothing at the arms, nothing at the head. Based good boy Orga, however, just like the Toho Kaiju series version of this figure, his arms are going to be able to swivel all the way around. I actually feel confident in swiveling these things all the way around. He will, however, not have articulation at his legs, but he'll keep it in the tail. Look at that. I'm sorry, Gujanka. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me. I want you all to look at this imagery and see how fucking cursed it is. This is wrong in very many a way. You just gotta flip it on in there. Get that back on. Alright, Godzilla is ready to intimidate us all with his ear-piercing roar of the King of Monsters stuff. So as per the back of the box, we're supposed to grip him by the tail, and then... That doesn't sound like Godzilla. So unfortunately, when I picked this set up, it was actually unopened. Mint. But since this was an unopened product from 1999, with Godzilla being the major sale point, the batteries were still in its back, and it looked like this. The fact that it still produces sound is a fucking miracle, and I went to hell and back with a toothbrush to get all that caked stuff off. Obviously, it only half worked. I don't think I've ever heard what this thing was actually supposed to sound like. I just imagine, you know, it's Godzilla. It's probably gonna sound like Godzilla. Organically grown Godzilla bootleg monster over here. Actually, I remember sounds a bit better. Yet again, look at this cursed imagery. Let's just flip that on. Yeah, I'm aware. Orga looks like he's got crusted spooge all up in his back. That's how I got it. All right, Organics. Well, maybe the sound box in this guy has just deteriorated over time, because that
shit hurting.
That doesn't really sound like Orga, but I feel like I can hear the silhouette of Orga's standard roar just a bit distorted. And here you will see the box. It's a nice box, it's cool. I like that it has the physical Godzilla trademark sticker on it. It is currently safe, not being crushed. Yeah, maybe one day I'll take that back out and use it for something. And that's pretty much it. Relics of Bandai's past that we really don't see too much, if at all, anymore. When next we meet, we'll be returning to a classic. Something many fans of all ages, I imagine, likely had or still have in their collection. I am, of course, talking about the Bandai America Godzilla 2000, with the minor appearance of the Fusion Series Godzilla 2000. Still smells like air fryer there, Drew.